to love you. I get to love you. The way you love, it changes who I am. I am undone. Nothing God wants again. Oh, I can't believe it's true sometimes. Oh, I can't believe it's true. I get to love you. It's the best thing that I'll ever do. I get to love you. It's a promise I'm making to you. Whatever may come, your heart I will choose. Forever I'm yours, forever I do. I get to love you. I get to love you. I get to love.
To Scott, our story isn't traditional, but it's ours, and I would change a thing because it led me today, the happiest day of my life. The first moment I saw you, I swiped right.
I like it. That's good.
Okay. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Little did I know, a single swipe on my phone on a random Saturday would lead me to you. The most amazing man who is very determined, hardworking, and compassionate. A man who can put away an entire peanut butter parfait from Dairy Queen in one sitting like no one else. Also a man who is so brave to sing like Bon Jovi in front of 100 people in the Philippines. You are funny, loud, and your adventurous personality makes me so happy and brings the best out in me as a person. You show me the real meaning of love, that language isn't a barrier when love is present. You show me the real, a love that is kind and honest and always pushes me forward instead of back. You show me how it feels to be valued. You have taught me how to be strong and brave. And you show me that no matter what unimaginable scenario life throws at us, that we will be okay as we face it together because we make a great team. Walking down the aisle alone without my parents beside me was hard. But seeing your eyes and watching you coming toward me, I feel comfort and peace, like I'm home. Sorry. And you as my husband is my definition of home. Looking back at our relationship, all the beautiful moments that had led up to this day, all the milestones that we have reached together has always been a yes. The challenging and difficult moments, even the painful ones, have always been a clear yes. And I'm so glad I made the decision because it was the yes that has changed my life completely. Today, in front of our family and friends and God, for the second time, or third time, I promise you my loyalty, my commitment, and my faithfulness. I vow to support you and your dreams the same way you have always supported mine. I vow to always remind you of our potential because you have shown me more than you can see. I promise to always make sure that there's no food left in your beard every after meal. And yes, I will continue to use my Filipino accent to make you smile when you are sad. And yes, I vow to be your safe place to run to when you need protection and your place of comfort when you need a quiet reflection. I promise to create traditions with you that will become the traditions of our future family. I am very proud of us because for the second time or third time, we made it. And I can't wait to see what life has for us. William Scott Baker III, always remember that you are my life and I love you today and every tomorrow.
Hindi ko alam paano ko ibubuhat yung pagmamahal ko sa'yo sa kunting oras at maikling salita. Yung pagtingin mo sa akin, yung pag-aalaga mo sa akin, yung lahat ng bagay na ginagawa mo para sa akin. Hindi ko lubos mayasip kung paano na ako kapag wala ka. Is that all right so far? Marami kang ipinakita sa akin tungkol sa pagkatao ko. Tinulungan mo akong abutin yung mga bagay na akala ko ay hindi ko kayang abutin. Sa maiksing panahon, yung mga lugar na napuntahan natin, mga bagay na nasaksin natin at ang pagmamahalan na binuo nating dalawa hindi magiging posible kung wala ka. Ikaw ang aking kaibigan, asawa, ang nagbibigay liwanag sa buhay ko. Palagi kitang iniisip ang kalusugan at kaligayahan mo ang aking panguahing layunin sa buhay. So close, so close. There's one more in here that'll be a good one too. Trust me. Yeah. Palagi akang nasa tabi mo kahit magkalayo man tayo. Sisikapin kang maging katulad mo araw-araw, mapagpasya, maalalahanin, maalaga, mapagmalasakit sa mga taong nakapaligid sa'yo at mabuti ang puso. Ang kinabukasan natin at ng pamilyang bubuuin natin ang nagbibigay inspirasyon sa akin para pagbutihan at maging matagumpay na tao. Pangako kang ibibigay ang lahat ng pangangailangan, that's the other one, ng ating magiging pamilya. Mahal kong kaibigan, asawa at ang nagbibigay liwanag sa buhay ko, mahal na mahal kita. Iya tangka, aaalagahan kita kailanman, iya tangka launay. I love you. Now it's 3.
without further ado, for the first, second, or third time, Mr. and Mrs. Baker! Scott and Yana, are you guys ready to go? Is there a certain order that you guys want to start in? Okay, they're gonna start over here. So please, you guys get creative as they're gonna come around and.
You can stand up and do whatever. This is your one photo tonight.
Plan your poses before they get there.
That's
This has
right.
never actually gone through in one song.
We can
So
do it
let's see
one
if we can
song,
do it.
guys. One song.
One song, here we go.
Here we go, 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 go!
I'm Joe. Hey, Wilson. Wilson? Yeah, nice to meet you, Wilson. I'm Joe. Wilson, right? Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Well, halfway, I think we might do it.
I'll stand up.
What are we doing, you guys? I don't know. This way. We're going this way.
Will you bow with me, please? Our Heavenly Father, I thank you for your presence with us here today. I thank you for the reason family and friends have gathered here to celebrate Scott and Yana's commitment to each other. Lord, you instituted marriage as a covenant, not a contract that can be broken. You have given each one of them a unique personality that will complement each other, helping them through the challenges they will face and the joy in everyday blessings that they will experience. And now, as we are about to enjoy a wonderful meal prepared for us, we give you thanks. May the fellowship and appetite around each table be enjoyed, and we thank you for the hands that have prepared it. I ask this all in Jesus' name with thanksgiving. Amen.
One of Yana and Scott's very first dates was actually building a desk over FaceTime. And when I say they were building a desk together, it was actually just Yana building a desk and Scott diligently watching and supervising like a good man would to make sure, you know. But I really hope that you guys get to continue to build furniture together, and hopefully now it'll be just in person instead of over FaceTime.
Who doesn't love to watch the bride and groom kiss? So does anybody else want to come up at this moment in time? Because we've got a little extra time. The man, the myth, the legend, Todd Baker.
Thank you. You know, the first time I was able to meet Yana was a little bit of a different occasion, because Scott took me aside and he said, you know, he had a girlfriend before that didn't end up very well. And thank goodness for that. We'll just say that. But anyway. And he wanted Joanna and I to go out for dinner with him to meet a new girl that he had met. And I sat back and said, well, let's go out and see who this girl is. And he said, you know, she's just not like crazy like the rest of the girls I've been out like dating in the last little bit. She's a little bit, yes, you did. Yes, you did, actually. You said, this girl is like, she's caring and, you know, all this kind of thing. I've never met a girl like this before. And so we went out for dinner, and we're sitting at the table, and Joanna and I, Yana goes to the washroom, and we both look over at Scott and go, you better marry this girl, like, right now. Like, this is the girl you need to be with, for sure. And I'm glad that he made the, how would you say, progress to make sure that Yana was his wife. And Yana is an incredible person to have in our family, and we really enjoy having her here. So thank you, Scott and Yana, for being part of our family. It's been incredible. Thank you.
Against my better judgment, I'm standing up here talking to all of you. So my name, yeah, okay, thank you very much. My name is Mikel Tuis. I've known Scott, I call him Baker. I've known him for longer than I care to admit, but it's been a very long time. It's been a lot of ups, very little downs, mainly ups, but I'm gonna keep this quick. Yana, first off, stunning, gorgeous, beautiful. And I've been thinking about what I was going to say, and I could say a lot of things, I really could, but I'm not going to. The one thing that I am going to say is when I realized that, and pardon my language, oh shit, this is serious, because Scott told me and a few others in the room tonight, he was gonna move to North Battleford. And I said, oh yeah, sorry, Battleford, pardon me. The Boston Pizza is in North Battleford, which I know for a fact, so that's good, yeah. But that's when I realized that this was a very serious thing. And it warms my heart every day to think about that. Really, it does. Because he talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks. And every once in a while, he has a small little quip. But it was the line of, I'm moving to Battleford and I'm renting out my house to Wilson, that I said, oh, shit, that's it. So I'm gonna leave it there, again, short and sweet, but I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, I love the both of you more than my words can explain. Baker, I've known you for a very long time, and I can't wait to carry on with this chapter of your life. And Yana, I am so lucky to have you as a part of all of this. So just, I love the both of you, and the best.
But one story in particular happened last weekend. Me, McKelty, Yana, and Baker were all out for dinner, and then Val as well. So we were at Winston's and we were all having a few drinks, and Scott had to go to the bathroom. And immediately when Scott got up to go to the washroom, I looked at Yana and said, "Give me your wedding ring." And she looked at me initially and was like, "No." And I was like, "Trust me, give me your wedding ring." And without hesitation, she takes her wedding ring off and gives it to me. And McKelty and I are there and we're laughing. And McKelty's a little shocked. He's like, "What's going on?" But I'm like, "McKelty, trust me, this is going to be hilarious." And we tell Yana, when we're walking to Congress, you got to pull Scott aside and say, "Hey, Scott, when we were at Conga Cafe," the best restaurant in Saskatoon, North America, maybe, next to Hearth. But I was like, you got to pull Scott aside and say, "Hey, I think I lost the wedding ring." And we thought Yana was going to blow it, but she did not blow it. She pulled Scott aside right when we were walking into Congress, and they were gone for 10 minutes. And I had the wedding ring in my pocket. And then I started freaking out because I was like, if Yana spills the bean to Scott, I'm a dead man. So I immediately take it out of my pocket and hand it to McKelty because I didn't want to have anything to do with that. And McKelty starts freaking out, and we're in Congress. They're still talking outside. Anyways, they come into Congress Bar. We're all sitting there. Yana immediately goes to the bathroom, and Scott's sitting there, and he goes, "Guys, you guys wouldn't believe what just happened." And I'm thinking, Yana fell through with the prank. And that's when we knew immediately she was one of the boys. But that's not it. So we love Scott. Scott never stutters. He never stutters. He's got a small mouth, but he never stutters. But do you know what a newborn is? I know everyone's eating, but when a newborn is constipated and they're dripping in sweat and they're bright, like super white, like Saskatoon in December. That's what Scott looked like. And I can say, I've never seen this guy that worried in his life, but he was completely freaking out. And later he's gonna tell everyone, "Oh, I wasn't freaking out," but he was fully freaking out. Anyways, how the story ends is McKelty pulls out the ring and Scott looks at it and goes, "How did you guys get that?" And I look at Scott and I go, "I pickpocketed Yana." But all I gotta say is, Scott, I love you. I've known you forever. You're one of my best friends. You're gonna be one of my best friends forever. You mean so much to me. And Yana, I haven't had too many opportunities to hang out with you, but you're one of the boys.
Hi, everyone. Oh boy. I probably have a big enough voice just without this. But I'm Dana. I am Scotty's auntie. And as an auntie, you get to tell embarrassing stories. So Scotty was a cute little guy. And he always liked to pull down his pants and show off his cute little bum. And I think he got that from his dad, because his dad used to like to do that too. But Yana, I'm just going to warn you that the Neufeld family, as well as the Baker family, have a tradition that at Christmas time when they get together, they like to strip down to their underwear and run through the neighborhood in their underwear. So my husband Rick got initiated into that, and he was like, "What the heck is going on here?" And Lori and the Newfields and everything like that stripped down to their skivvies and ran around the block. But thankfully, Yana, us girls don't do that. But just so you know that if you have a little tiny Baker boy, he'll be wanting to show off his little cute bum. And I can attest, there's probably a picture at the lake with his little bum hanging out. So it is quite cute. So Scotty, you better show up, get up here and show off your cute little butt. Come on. Anyways. Anyways, I just wanted to wish you both the very, very best and the longest marriage. And Yana, you are coming into a wonderful family. And we love you very much. And Scott's a pretty awesome guy.
Sorry, I got to add a little bit to that. So, Scott and I have been able to have a couple of great adventures together. Not only do we work together, but we get to go out and have some fun now and then. So when Dana was talking about Scott showing off his cute butt, I was actually pretty proud of him. We went to New Orleans, and we were out to a couple of bars. We were having a great time, and we went into this one bar, and there was a twerking competition going on. And anyway, I think it was myself and Scott Kirpin were in the building, and I thought Scott might jump up and do a little bit of twerking, but no. I look around, and all of a sudden, my son is up on stage against these other two ladies doing a twerking competition. And not only does it turn into twerking, but he's ripping off of his shirt, and the stage, everybody's going nuts that Scott's like the man. He ends up winning the twerking competition over everyone else. So tonight when we're dancing, I think we're going to have a special song, Nick, that we actually have a video of Scott that we might be able to show later. But some of the proud moments as a dad was definitely him taking the championship at the twerking competition in New Orleans. So maybe we can get that done tonight. Thank you.
I used to live on a farm about 45 minutes out of the city, and I came in to party pretty much every weekend. And there's a lot of times I'd have to sleep in my truck. And Baker knew that, and he said, "That's not happening anymore. Go out, buy a futon, bring it in my basement." And I think I nicked up his walls a couple times. Probably took down the value of that shoebox by 20 grand. And no, when he wasn't even around, he'd give me the key to the house and let me sleep in his basement. And that's something that not a lot of people would do for a friend. So cheers to you, man. Love you, buddy.
Okay, hi. I just want to say something here before the speeches start. I'm sure lots of family has heard this before, but I also feel it needs to be heard by everyone. So I got married to my husband in 2018, so about 5 years ago. And at that time, after we had said our vows, we walked out, Scott came up to me and said, "I just don't know why you would get married." And I was like, "Well, it's a bit too late now." And I was kind of looked at him and I'm like, "Why?" And he went, "Well, why would you want to share your stuff with someone?" And so, Yana, I'm very glad that, you have found Scott's heart and that he has decided that you are worthy of sharing his stuff.
Hello? Shit. Okay, so I'm Scott's uncle. I'm married to Joanna's sister. Been hanging out with the family since about 97, 98. And this reminded me this time, what? Jeez. Okay. Thank you. So in 98, my girlfriend at the time, Charlene, she asked me to go to Calgary for the family Christmas party. And I was like, yeah, whatever, okay. So it's being held at Jerry's place. And, the Christmas trees over here, it's a little older home in downtown Calgary. And between the living room and dining room, I guess, there's a entryway, and I'm standing on the edge of it. And my wife is in her sweats doling out presents to all the kids. And there's Scotty standing in the corner, and he's standing there, and his face is turning red, and he's standing there. And Todd comes up and leans on my shoulder, and he goes, oh, crap. And I'm like, what? And he goes, look at Scotty. He's over there filling his pants. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking, and Scotty's got this, he's looking, and he's seriously turning red. And, I'm thinking, great. Anyway, but he's like 3, so yeah, I can give him that. 'Cause I don't know when I stop, but anyway, so nowadays, even if he's in the corner, he's got Dayana with him to hold his hand and stuff. But it was just, when I saw him walking or standing there at the aisle there, that's the flash of his look on his face when he was watching Dayana walk up there. It was so determined and so focused on Dayana. I thought that was pretty good.
I got it, Nick. I got one last one before the speeches for Super Scott here, because he looks like he wants to eat. He just looked at me like, really, Dad? Are you really going to get up there? Normally I'm Todd, but the odd time I'm Dad. It's good. Anyway, I wanted to say one thing to Dayana, is not only are you joining the Baker family, but you're also joining one of Scott's super friend family. And one of the coolest things I was ever able to do was join Scott at his stag in Portland. And I flew in, I told him I wasn't coming, and I said, nah, I decided I better come and see what these guys are gonna do. The coolest thing was to be surrounded by a bunch of gentlemen who have all become professionals in their life. All guys that I watched and went, these guys are all gonna burn out. Some guys, I took their hats and bent them. Other guys, I cut them from the football team. All kinds of weird stuff. But these guys have all become mentors in their relationship with Scott. I was absolutely blessed to sit at a table with these gentlemen as we shared some of the good times that they've had together. There was probably about 8 of us there, all bawling our eyes out in the middle of Portland at some restaurant, as they kept bringing salads to McKelty. But it was amazing to see how much these guys cared for each other, and it's unbelievable the relationship that these guys have. It's like having a second family. And I want to say thank you, and that you'll accept, obviously, Dayana and Scott as a super pair here, and you've got so much support, Dayana, coming. You better look out. Watch out for McKelty now and then, but the rest of them are pretty good. But I want to say thank you for Scott and Dayana for letting us journey with you in this marriage, including the bachelor parties and all of the fun stuff we've done. And thank you guys out here for supporting Scott throughout. It honestly is an unbelievable thing to sit with you guys. And listen, I'm sitting with guys who are dentists, doctors, CEOs, accountants. I'm sitting down at the end of the table and I'm going, I sell the odd radio here and there. It's pretty good. But again, thank you for all the support you've given Scott. I appreciate you guys a lot.
I'm getting the same talk here that I got from Joe. back when Scott first started working for Todd, she pulled me aside and was like, Matt, he's 17 years old. 17 years old. And I was like, Joe, we got this. So I'm Matt. Co-worker. I work for Scott. Still not sure how that works out. This would have been a lot better if I got up here before I had a few drinks. But so I started working with Scott 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Sorry. So a couple things I want to get across here. Thing that Todd instilled in all of us, and early on in my career when Todd first interviewed me, the second interview was actually with my wife. And it's because Todd understood something that I think Scott now gets, that Joe was Todd's queen, is Todd's queen, and Todd is her king. If it's not right at home, it's not right on the road. It's the things that we accomplish in life, you can only do so much by yourself. But when we've got our queen beside us, it's unstoppable. So, going back a little bit, everybody in this room understands what it's like to live in the shadow of your father. And I think we all know the shadow that Todd casts. And watching Scott grow in this business, and watching Scott living in the shadow of his dad and growing into the man that casts his own shadow and builds his own business, his own life. And I knew that this was different with Dayana when I heard the way that Scott talked about her and the stories that he told me. She was his queen. And he is her king. So congratulations, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you two accomplish together. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily. I'm one of Baker's best friends since grade 9, so 14 years ago. All the speeches have been so nice and so sentimental, and I'm not going to go that direction soon. But I just wanted to say, if you guys haven't put together, we have a very strong friend group from high school. Most of the guys have come up here, and then Hope and Erin and Val is kind of the girls of the squad. And Dayana, we just wanted to say that we're so excited that you're part of the girls, and you've been immediately part of the friend group since the moment we met you. And we're so excited for the future, for all of the friends, and cheers to you guys.
The fact that I didn't bring Kleenex to this wedding, amateur move. Amateur move.
Yeah, this has been lovely, guys. We're going to interrupt the flow of speeches to just get a couple of the more formal speeches done, but continue to come up and do more speeches once we're eating dessert and all those good things. So we're going to start by introducing the ladies and the bridesmaids of Dayana's wedding party. We all know that behind every strong woman like Dayana, there is a group of inspirational, supportive, and loving friends. And Dayana's are the ladies who were next to her at the front today.
Okay, so we're gonna start off with Christine. Christine, could you give a wave or stand up? Here is the lovely Christine. We love it though. We're just going to introduce Christine. So Christine has flown in from Seattle to be here today, and we are so excited that she can make it. Christine and Yana are cousins, and they grew up in the Philippines together. As any little girls do, they wanted to do everything with each other, and this didn't change as they got older. They both supported each other in each other's dreams, Yana as a nurse and Christine as a professional baker. But today, Christine wanted everyone here to know that she was the baker first. Christine met Scott for the first time when he visited the Philippines this past year. And unfortunately for her, she was one of the chosen ones who got a front row seat to Scott's karaoke Bon Jovi concert.
Oh gosh, Christine, I'm sorry.
Christine is so happy that her cousin and best friend Yana has met someone as kind-hearted as she is.
All right, next we're gonna talk about Daniela. If you wanna wave, give her a little stand. Awesome. Daniela is actually joining us all the way from Los Angeles, and she has been busy preparing for her NCLEX exam for nursing. So let's give this hardworking gal a hand. Yes. Daniela met Yana on their first day of nursing school in the Philippines. She remembers how warm and welcoming Yana was. Because of the distance, this weekend is actually Daniela's first time meeting Scott in person. No jokes here. Aaron and I are really happy that Daniela and Yana can be together for the first time in 5 years.
Although we are sorry that you will be third wheeling these two besties on your wedding weekend bakes. Next up we have Natasha. Natasha, give a little wave to everybody. Natasha has been like an older sister to Scott. And like any older sister, she was actually tasked with babysitting Scott when he was a kid.
Bakes, you better be on your best behavior tonight.
Natasha and Yana quickly became friends through poking fun at someone they loved the most. They also loved chatting with each other and going on adventures such as paddleboarding at the lake. When talking with Natasha, she said her favorite thing about Scott is Yana.
Next, we have Alyssa. Alyssa, can you wave? Yes. So Alyssa, of course, is Scott's younger sister. In Alyssa's own words, her first impressions of Scott were questionable, but he is growing on her. Scott and Alyssa have a relationship, like most siblings do, that's full of teasing, honesty, support, and a whole lot of love. Alyssa has always meant the world to Scott, and he is glad that she and Yana have become close, even if it means that sometimes he gets ganged up on by the girls. Alyssa is very excited to gain a sister in someone who she thinks so highly of and looking forward to the adventures to come.
All right, next up we have Micah. Give a little wave. All right, Micah is the mom of the group, but not to just say any mom, she is a cool mom. And she recently just became a bank branch manager. She is currently raising a baby girl, and let me tell you, this baby girl, she showed me a picture on the bus, and she is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Micah met Scott for the first time at the end of one of her and Yana's girls' nights. And we all know what happens on girls' nights, don't we, Hope? And after hearing this story, I think that maybe more than a few drinks were had because she described Scott as being cool. And in our experience, we've never heard that word when describing Scott. Micah loves seeing the happiness and support that Scott brings to Yana.
Awesome, so that is our bridal party. Everybody give him a big hand. Good. Okay, so next we're going to introduce Scott's groomsmen. And Aaron, I've been looking at these guys in their suits, and it really feels like we have a board of directors situation up here.
David's shaking in his boots. But I couldn't agree more. Look at how great these guys look. But okay, Hope, before you let these guys sell you something, or before you invest any money with them, let me tell you their bios.
Yes, first we have Wilson. Wilson, stand up, give a wave. Yes, sit down, give a wave. There it is. Wilson is Scott's other soulmate. They share a love of cars, clothing, and eating at Michelin star restaurants. Wilson is currently living in one of Scott's properties, but you guys, I promise he's way more than just a squatter in Scott's house. Wilson is actually an amazing cook, and he is currently a valuation consultant at MNP. He says that Dayana is the perfect balance in Scott's life, and he is glad to have backup for the next time that Scott decides to drink 10 liters of beer.
All right, next we have Eric. Eric, give a little wave, stand up. Eric has been lovingly referred to as the dad of the group, but seriously, him and his wife Chloe are expecting a baby in November, so if we can give them a little round of applause. Eric met Scott while trying out for the Kinsman Steelers football team.
Wait, Aaron, did you say tryout or play?
No, I definitely said tryout because Todd actually cut Eric that year. Oh, no, wait, we know. A decision that Todd would go on to regret, as Eric was the only one to go on and play post-secondary football with the Huskies. Eric first met Dayana at a New Year's Eve party where she actually served up some traditional Filipino dishes. And he is looking forward to more wholesome nights with Scott and Dayana as a married couple. All right, McKelty. Oh, he bows for everybody. Like Eric, McKelty and Scott go all the way back to Steelers football.
Whoa. Aaron, there is something that McKelty wanted everybody to know.
Oh my gosh, how could I forget? When we were talking to McKelty about what he wanted everybody at the wedding to know, he wanted everybody to know that he actually graduated with distinction from BCom in 2021. Way to go, McKelty! Woo! Okay, well, now that we have that out of the way, McKelty and Scott met playing Kinsman Steelers football, where they bonded over Todd making them run until they puked. Nowadays, McKelty and Scott enjoy sharing seafood towers and golfing. They also love being two of the most stubborn people in the room. So please do not let them argue tonight, or we will literally be here all night. But if you didn't already know this about McKelty, he is a sucker for love. And he is so happy that his best friend has found the one in such a genuine, kind-hearted woman.
David, give everybody a wave. Scott Baker has actually taught David everything that he knows about finance and has really been more of a mentor to David than a friend. Right, Scott? Yeah, you know. That's right. I'm just telling them how you guys became. So Scott's mentorship to David actually started in high school. And it really started because Scott would coach David in every sport imaginable. Badminton, volleyball, football. Scott was helping David come along because we all know that David isn't a natural athlete. So just imagine the patience that this took from Scott. Really, Scott, incredible.
You're a hero, Scott. You really are.
Incredible. In all seriousness, David has been watching Scott and Dayana's love story unfold from a distance while in New York.
Wait, David, what are you doing in New York again? Human resources?
David has loved hearing updates over the phone about Scott's girl and seeing how strong Scott and Dayana's relationship becomes every time he visits. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have Scott Kirpan. Stand up, give wave. So Scott Kirpan has got to know Scott Baker through working at the firm together. Over the years, they have got to do lots of traveling together, and Kirpan remembers being in Berlin with Bakes and Scott ordering what he thought was going to be a simple breakfast after maybe just a couple beers. And the breakfast showed up as a 3-tier cart with some of the fanciest cheeses and meats that you can buy. And this is why Scott Baker is now lovingly known at the firm as No Budget Baker. Scott Kirpan is excited for Scott Baker to have met such a kind and level-headed woman in Yana, and is happy to have her encourage Scott to ball on a budget.
Amen. All right, well, now that we have welcomed the beautiful bridal party, we are going to now welcome up the best men, Eric and Wilson, to share a few words.
Good evening. It is very special to be able to share some words for Scott and Yana's wedding. We are Wilson and Eric, and together we are 2/3 of the Bagel Boys. Both of us have known Scott for over 15 years, and between the three of us have created cherished memories over trips, holidays, casual hangouts that turn special.
So the creation of the Bagel Boys name says a lot about our friendship. Several years ago, we took a trip to Europe together. And as with most of our time spent together, it's spent largely around a table eating good food. One morning in Berlin, we were sitting having a bagel and agreed that nothing really beats a bagel for breakfast. Shortly after that, we realized that our group of friends needed some kind of name to go by. We had already agreed how awesome bagels were, and being the three boys around the table, it was at that moment that the Bagel Boys officially formed.
Well, Scott and I had always known each other when we were younger. Our friendship took root on 8th Street, where we spent a shameful amount of time wasting gas in high school. From this point, we would come to be close friends, sharing many memories together, often centered around a meal. It was during a Christmas dinner between the Bagel Boys where Scott let us know that he had met a girl and he was planning to drive to Battleford, not North Battleford, to spend New Year's with her.
In those early days when their relationship was fresh and they were only a few dates in, Scott was trying to act casual, but he wasn't fooling us. Looking back, it seems clear that he was hooked from the beginning. The commitment to each other had them willing to spend many hours on the road to see their relationship grow. And Scott, you've clearly learned how to put your fuel to better use in those days on 8th Street.
Throughout Scott and Yana's relationship, Yana has joked that I was Scott's boyfriend first, due to the amount of time I would spend at Scott's house cooking dinner for him. Although we joke about our bond, I have always felt especially close with Scott. For me, this was exemplified when Pastor Jim dropped Scott's wedding band in the pool, and they wound up using mine as the stand-in.
A moment that stands out for me, that it became clear that Scott and Yana were destined to be lifelong partners. As McKelty had mentioned, it was the moment that he told us he was moving to Battleford. Scott had invited us out to dinner at 13 Pies and told us that he'd be making the move out there. It was a major move, and it came with a big lifestyle change for the both of you. Before the move, Yana and Scott were doing everything they could to travel and spend time together, making things work despite the distance between the two of you. But moving in together is not your first commitment, but the way that Scott shared the news of that major move with such confidence and happiness made it obvious that it meant everything to him. He told us about the plan because Baker always needs a plan. But the move to Battleford is only going to be temporary, but his commitment to Yana was definitely only getting stronger.
Yana, it isn't always easy keeping up with Scott. He lives life to the fullest, and you're guaranteed to create many wonderful memories with extravagant stories together. And as many of us here have experienced firsthand, you will be responsible for trying to rein him in sometimes. This is not always easy, and if you ever need a hand with him, you have a support group of friends that will do anything for the two of you. As you would have learned about Scott early on, everything that he does is focused on friendship, loyalty, and taking care of his people.
the Bagel Boys started out as a trio. And for many of you here tonight, I regret to inform you that this club still remains incredibly exclusive. However, the Bagel Boys did not stop growing on the day it was formed in Berlin. When someone comes along and makes out one of our members to be a better version of themselves, that qualifies admission to the club. So Dayana, we're happy to stand up here tonight and welcome you to the Bagel Boys with open arms.
Thanks, guys. That was beautiful. Next up, we're going to have Christine come say a few words.
Hello. I'm really so scared to do this. But for those of you who are wondering who these beautiful, wonderful, amazing women in front of you are, my name is Christine, and I'm representing the Filipinos tonight. And if I would have known, I would have brought the flag with me, but I didn't. And I'm Yana's Weiss's cousin, basically the sister that she've never had, but she really do have a sister. So, growing up, me and Yana were always super close. I remember looking forward to the weekend to finally get to see her after a long, exhausting week. We were 6 years old. And growing up with her has been a core memory for me, like how we would be playing around the fire. We would grab tin cans and put leaves and water and cook it like it's soup. How we would always run outside when it starts raining, and we would play until the rain stopped and it's time to come home, or when her mom starts looking for us. How my first sleepover is at their house, and we would build a tent outside that we would enjoy building, but we would never sleep on. How we would dress up Christmas nights for parties and just dance the night away. When she moved in with us for nursing school, how on her nursing school days, she literally traumatized me by being her guinea pig. And I was her first person to put injections on. And now I'm scared and terrified of them. How we would all wait for everybody to come home to watch a movie after a long day in school, or how we would always teach her how to gamble. How scared she was that she's not gonna graduate on time, and even though she worked really hard for it, and there was the good old me telling her that she should never be pressured. She would always never, she would graduate eventually, and 6 months later, she did. Or how our connection were never broken when I left the Philippines to move to Seattle. She's literally one of the person who was heartbroken when I left. And I would never forget how she surprised me with letters on the wall of my room. And she gave me this big ass card that after all these years, I still have. Because I could never, and I would always remember it. How we would have fun and drink the night away, how drunk we were when she passed the licensure exam for nursing school. Which was a funny story for another time. Our heartbreaks, also known, AKA when I used to like dating men. Our first travel together that made our mom so scared. Our little talks in our rooftop, how we would lay down at night just laughing like little kids until we're eventually tired. And how I told her to sign up on a dating website, which, by the way, you're welcome. And despite of how close we were is how different we were, from our hobbies to our personalities, you name it. And if I could ever go back and tell our younger teenage self how we made it, not just in life, but also in love, I would have never believed it. Growing up, you have always been my favorite, and despite of not being everybody's favorite, I was yours. I'm so thankful that even though we've come this far, you're still the same Diane that I would be so excited to see you on the weekends when we were kids, and how loved I am by you and your family, and how you will always welcome us no matter what. I'm at peace knowing that Scott loves you the way our younger self used to wait and pray for. I'm so proud of the woman you've become and becoming, and I couldn't even be more happier to get to finally live the life that you wanted and experience the love that you truly deserve. I know that we couldn't fill your family's position in being here today, but I really do wish that our presence made you feel at home, and to remind you that no matter when, no matter where, and no matter what, I'm always one FaceTime away. I love you, and I can't wait to see little Yanas and little Scots running around. Not that it's a pressure or anything, but I literally cannot wait to see what the future holds for both of you. I love you guys.
Again, I didn't bring any tissues for this. What a silly move. Thanks, Christine. Now we're going to welcome Todd and Joanna to come and speak on behalf of the Baker family.
Magadang Gabi. Good evening. Tried. Thank you all for being here to celebrate Scott and Diana. We had a wonderful small wedding in our backyard on September 3rd, but this is so special to share this day with everyone here. If you could join us in thanking the staff at the Remai Art Gallery and Hearth for a wonderful facility and meal. Todd and I had very little to do with putting this day together. They did most of it. You guys, it has been a beautiful day, and your hard work has paid off. Firstly, I would like to say welcome to Diana's family and friends. Masaya kaming nakilala ka at narito ka. We want to thank you all for being here and for your love and support for Scott and Yana. Family and friends are what life is all about, and knowing you are here to walk with them through their marriage is such a blessing. Thank you, everyone who has traveled near and far. We are so thankful for the parents and the family of Yana that have raised such a strong, brave, loving woman that is now Scott's wife. We love you so much, and we are so happy that you're part of our family. I know, Scott and Yana, you've been married for almost a year now, and that sounds crazy, but we're so thrilled to be here today. We really never knew if Scott would ever get married. He told us he would never get married, as Alyssa alluded to, because he didn't want to share his stuff. I told him never say never. He just hadn't met the right young lady yet. We're so happy that he has chosen Yana to share his stuff with. When Scott was younger, we would go on dates. Todd would take our daughter Alyssa, and I took Scott. We had some really good times. One of our traditions was to go to the Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan every summer and watch a play. He was a delight to spend time with. Having those dates showed me how he would treat a potential girlfriend or wife. He does his best to help and show his love to Yana. They make a point to spend quality time together. They love cooking together and many other things that build into their relationship. They know that marriage takes work and that it is so much worth the investment to have a partner they can count on for the rest of their lives. I have to say he has learned some important ways to show love from his dad, and I'm so thankful for that. Yana, you've been so good for Scott. You have helped him to learn not to spend so much money and to get a good deal. He's pretty proud of the good deals he gets. You got him to try some very interesting food in the Philippines. And you're a good sport. He says, I'll always try something once. Yana's trying new things here too, like jet ski at the lake at Skidoo. They have so much to learn from each other, and I pray that never stops. I know down the road, you'll do more traveling and see more of the world and always be each other's best friend. I pray that you will look to God for guidance in your marriage and know you always have your families to lean on. I want you to give you a couple verses. Ephesians 4, verse 2 and 3. Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourself united in spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. We love you both so very much and are so proud of you that you will have a very happy life together. As you know, marriage takes work, and we know you are both committed to each other. We look forward to watching your marriage grow and mature as you live life and raise a family. You have a good start with Bill. We love our grandpup.
And I'll be quick because apparently I've already talked too much today. So I just wanted to say that, you know what, we've been blessed with both my daughter Alyssa to have Sam as her husband, incredible guy, and Yana now as Scott's wife. Both of them are amazing people, and love it that I can have my Yana D Banana, or the Yanaconda, given at the odd time. We have such a good time together, just picking on each other and having a great time. When we get together as a family, it is absolutely wonderful, and it's a natural fit. And that was the big thing, is that realistically, Yana, your fit into the family has been seamless. No pain in there at all. It's been, we want you to be part of our family. So thank you so much for, number one, teaching my son respect, teaching him some honor, and just teaching him to be good to his wife. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Oh, and we'd like to officially welcome Yana into the family after you've been married to Scott for a year. But we love you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Joanna, to tell him. You knew it was coming out. Take that off, you're gonna sweat.
Hey, bro, look good for the video here. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. You're on. Find our little papers here. Are they here still? No? We gave you the...
Take ours off.
Oh.
They're not in the
There's nothing behind them. It's just these two. I gave them to you at the very beginning? No?
In the phone, in the phone, in the phone.
All right. Let's take a quick pause.
Go find some paper. Can we watch that video in the meantime? Hey, Nick. That's it, everybody. Hey, Nick, where's that video? Oh, here we go.
So this may be a little bit of evidence of Scotty Baker in New Orleans. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Nick. It's a good time. Oh, you're right.
Well, we had three. Oh, I got to figure out the button now. I've been chirping the whole time. There we go. We had 3 copies. This is one of the 3, but we got it. That's all that matters. Yana, would you like to start?
Hi, everybody. My name is Dayana Baker. In short, Yana Baker. Too much crying today. Okay. For my Baker family, thank you for always inviting me over for such delicious Saturday steak. And then phenomenal turkey every Easter and Christmas. Thank you for welcoming me so warmly into your lives. And thank you for all your love and support since day one. It is hard for me to express how appreciative I am of you all. You both spoil me since day one, and you provide the ability to experience new things and learn a lot from you. Scott is so smart, caring, hardworking, and thoughtful. Why everybody's laughing? It is true, though.
I'll take it. You gotta wait for the second part.
And that can only be a reflection of how you have brought him up. Even though he can be a brat sometimes. It is a real honor to be a part of your Baker family. As we begin building our new life together, we couldn't be more grateful to have your love and support. We love you both. And for my Rubancho family, bear with me. I wouldn't be here without you. You have always supported my dreams and pushed me to achieve them. As I celebrated these milestones today, even though you're not here in person, I want to let you know that Scott and I are thinking about you and wish that you were here with us today. No? Also, I got it. Also, we want to say thank you for your love and support that led us here. Even though we are far away from each other, you always provide words of encouragement, a good listening ear, and a sage advice. Our conversations mean so much to me. You put it in a lot of effort to talk no matter what time zone I'm in. Your voice has been my rock. Hearing you speak brings me peace, laughter, and warmth. Sometimes just listening to the farm, the chickens, the goats, the karaoke from the neighborhood is what I need to put a smile on my face. We love you so much and we miss you.
Perfect. To my new Filipino family, Rabancho family, we still can't wait to see your faces in minus 30 weather and take you sledding in the snow. We know this will happen very, very soon. Personally, I'm excited to sit down around a giant beef tenderloin with some Red Horse beer and create some new memories together here in Canada. I promise it will be masarap, which is very tasty in Tagalog. It's like the only thing I know 100% correct. I definitely owe you one after all the hospitality you provided in the Philippines. It was important for me to meet you and understand better where and how Yana was raised. It's pretty cool to know that after meeting the neighborhood, I now have almost 50 aunties and uncles. But seriously, it was a really beautiful thing to see and understand how one community can come together to raise one person. It was a very beautiful thing. One experience I will certainly remember is the day we decided to do an excursion to what is called 100 Island National Park. It's about a 4-hour drive, and jokingly I suggested that I could drive. Later that evening, everyone agreed I would be driving. Next morning at 4 a.m., pitch black, in a limo-tinted window, no visibility out this vehicle. As we pulled the property, I slowly started to realize I was responsible for 5 of my new in-laws' wives, including a pregnant lady, driving 4 hours in a country I'd never been before. Needless to say, it worked out, and we have pictures together on the islands with all of our limbs. But reflecting on that now, it leaves an impression of real trust and faith in my decisions regarding the well-being of their daughter. We both love you so much, and we will see you very soon. And to my parents, a big thank you. You have helped us do so many things and further our lives together. I find it very difficult to truly express my gratitude as you have been so generous in so many ways. You were supportive of Yana being in my life right away. And Todd alluded to this a little bit, but something that always makes me laugh is our first dinner together. After making some conversation over food, Yana left the table, and naturally I asked, well, what do you think? Todd looked back at me with a very confused and kind of angry face, saying, are you stupid? What is there to think about? Right then I knew I had made a very good decision. We both want to thank all of the friends and family who have traveled great distances to be here and celebrate with us, our wedding parties, our MCs, and everyone else who have helped put together so many of these precious moments and many, many others. Yeah.
I can go get it.
You want? Yeah. We're gonna do a toast. But I did want to say a word about Yana. Again, it's been alluded to a few times. I'm really a changed man in a lot of ways, for the best of ways. Some of my greatest excitement now is finding awesome deals at Walmart. We often go look at the chicken breast aisle and see for the 2 for $20 which one has the heavier weight. So we get the best bang for our buck. Another thing we both enjoy doing, walking our dog Bill in the morning, is how many cans we can pick up in the neighborhood. Starting the savings account, brother. You gotta find some different ways, man. And we had a funny joke earlier. When Yana and I first started dating, I was out in Vancouver working, and I decided to bring her out there, and we went and had some pretty nice dinners, and we stayed at some pretty nice hotels, and she said, you're trying to be Mr. Cool. And I'm like, of course I'm trying to be Mr. Cool. What are you talking about? But one thing that I've learned and has been the most eye-opening is it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing, what you look like. As long as you're with your significant other, that's what counts. And as bizarre as it sounds, I've never understood that until I met this beautiful woman, Dayana. I'm very blessed to have you in my life, and there is no one else I would rather be here with today. And I'm so excited to see what else we're going to do and how else we're going to change each other's life for the better. So with that being said, a toast to Yana, a toast to us, but most importantly, a toast to everyone here for celebrating this love with us, and we hope to enjoy the rest of the evening. Cheers. Thank you. That last video, Nick has been throwing parties for not just myself, but Todd as well for a number of years now. And he has a very good collection of very unique videos dropping me off at home at night. So that was good. Rolling the hot dog out of the van. We appreciate that, man. So I don't want to take over too much of Aaron and Hope's job because they're doing a fantastic job. But I did want to provide a little bit of context to what's going to happen next. So Yana and I are going to cut our cake. There's going to be cake over there, chocolate, vanilla, pick your flavor. We're going to go upstairs and take a quick picture, and we'll come back and do some dancing. But you'll notice there's a very specific tool over by that cake there. It's not a knife, it's not really a spatula, but it's a mega spatula. And why we decided to pick this is when I first started seeing Yana and I went to Battleford, the tools that not North Battleford, thank you for the distinction. The tools that she had in the kitchen were kind of whatever she had. And Yana, being the logical person that she is, she wanted to buy one spatula. So instead of buying a smaller one, why not buy a bigger one so you can put anything on the spatula? Makes sense. The problem is you must have a pan big enough to accommodate such a large spatula. So we have a joke with each other about this large spatula and how I fought her forever to get rid of it and get a smaller spatula, but it did survive. And I've in fact gone out and bought her an even larger spatula, which we could not bring here today. But I just wanted to provide some context to why that's there and what the deal is. But again, speaks to Yana's practicality and thoughtfulness and everything she does. 100%. Big time. All right, let's go do it.
You did in fact steal our thunder, but that's fine. You're the groom, I guess you can do that. They are going to cut the cake, and everybody is welcome to grab a piece of cake.
See, it's easier.
Coming through, Amanda.
Perfect cut.
Do we have a plate or anything?
I'll get you, bro. Hey, 2 cake plates, please. For the couple.
Very good. Got one more? Fantastic. Very practical.
Oh, boy.
Then we'll go wash it out? All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started with the first dance. Once again, if you're not near the dance floor, maybe start making your way over here. Dancing for the first time? Second time as husband and wife? Mr. and Mrs. Baker.
You're my water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the talent all I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine of my life. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you?
Alright, so my name is Nick. I will be your DJ tonight. I do take requests. You just gotta text the number on my screen. All I ask of you is that you do not touch my ball, and please don't set your drinks on the speakers, they'll bounce off. again, Mr. and Mrs. Baker towards the bar.
costume of all time. The groom, the blonde, here he comes!
So let's start this party here. My drinks Bacardi, yeah. Out in Hollywood, I grew up in the open hood, eating with the rats, praying God will make it all good. But that didn't work, so I had to do it on my own and move bricks like my friends that were dead and gone. That's the soccer world. You were waiting for to go, but growing up in the old slang or you muscle. That the dunk, yeah. Sling not no pump, bam. That's the way we do. Never stop, we gotta move underground, baby. We the reason why they booing you. Search spot. It's the blunt, the bone right girl. Truck that, now tuck that world. Why you listen, you talk while we do shit. You snob like Martha, you acting like a prison bitch. MC jealous, acting overzealous, ain't afraid to be ourselves, regardless what they tell us. I was born to a losing situation. Mama hooked up on the drugs. Daddy pimping conversation. Got his ass